Hello, good morning to everybody. Myself VILAS, Associate Professor in Botany, Annasaheb College, Manchar. Students, today we are going to study the SYBSc semester 3rd compulsory course BO 232. That is plant physiology. Credits to plant physiology, paper second. Now credit first, there is a first chapter, introduction to plant physiology. Now this is the introductory chapter of paper second, semester third. First we will see the definition of plant physiology. Now we know the botany. Botany means study of plants. Now plant physiology, it is a branch of botany that deals with study of various physiological functions which are occurring in a plant. Important word is physiological functions. Now plant physiology, it is an important branch of botany which deals with study of physiological functions which are occurring in a plant. Now, which are the physiological functions? Mainly photosynthesis. It is unique function, photosynthesis, then respiration, then cell division, cell elongation, cell maturation, glycolysis, plant growth, etc. Now these are the important physiological functions which are occur inside the plant. And plant physiology, it is the branch of botany that deals with study of various physiological functions which are occurring in a plant. Now in case of plant physiology, we study various physical processes and physiological functions which are occurring inside the plant. During the photosynthesis, you know, the light coming from the sun, by utilizing the carbon dioxide as a raw material, water from the soil, in presence of chlorophyll, there is a synthesis of complex food material is in the form of glucose, carbohydrate, etc. Now that is the light energy is converted to the food energy, and that energy is utilized by the plant for its to run various metabolic activities. Now photosynthesis is the physiological function. Respiration is physiological function. Plant growth is a physiological function. Cell division is a physiological function. Now plant physiology deals or study these various physiological functions which are occurring in a plant. That is a simple definition. You can remember, plant physiology, it is a branch of botany which deals with study of various physiological functions which are occurring in a plant. That is called as plant physiology. Now this is simple definition of plant physiology, and in this first chapter you should know what is meant by plant physiology. Then secondly, second unit in your syllabus, that is the scope of plant physiology. Now what is the scope of plant physiology in the plant sciences as well as life sciences and applied sciences? Now plant physiology, it is one of the important branch. The knowledge of plant physiology having a varied or great vibrant scope in various disciplines of the pure sciences and applied sciences. Now we will see one by one the scope of plant physiology. Now first, agriculture. Now in case of agriculture, there is a cultivation of traditionally food crops which are used by the human being. But now in case of modern agriculture, knowledge of plant physiology is applied in agriculture. That is science and technology. Knowledge of plant physiology is applied in the modern agriculture. One can increase the crop production or annual yield. One can use the available water. Water is precious, and this available water is used on economic basis. Again, the various physiological functions applied in the modern agriculture, that is opening of bud into the flower, blossom, plant growth, vegetative growth, reproductive growth, etc. Now this knowledge of plant physiology is applicable in modern agriculture and it is of great scope in agriculture. Here almost all physiological functions has great scope in agriculture, which especially to produce high yield of agricultural goods. Second scope of plant physiology is, now in case of modern life, in the modern age, we are depending upon the plants for medicine. Now there is a one branch called as pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy, which deals with study of plants that yields the drugs, and these drugs are mainly extracted from roots, stem, leaves, flowers, seeds and used to fight against various diseases of human beings as well as animals. Now, knowledge of plant physiology is well applicable in the medicine production, especially the Ayurvedic medicine or the medicinal plants, where we use these medicinal plants to fight against various diseases. Knowledge of plant physiology nowadays is applicable in the medicine or in the pharmacognosy. For example, secondary metabolites which are produced during the growth of the medicinal plants, and these secondary metabolites are very important to cure various diseases. Hence, the knowledge of plant physiology is well utilized in the production of medicine through the medicinal plants. Then again, in case of food production, that is cattle food as well as human food. Now food production, knowledge of plant physiology is also used in the food production, where we can secure highest yield of food, and also in the modern age textile. Now in case of textile industry, raw material is the fibers, especially the fiber yielding plants like cotton, that is gossypium, herbaceum, jute, hemp, flax, etc. These epidermal fibers are of economically important and they are having market value. Now the knowledge of plant physiology is used in textile industry for production of long fibers, and that is why the knowledge of plant physiology is applicable in the modern medicine which are produced from the plants, that is Ayurvedic plants or medicinal plants, food production, especially fodder of the animals and the food of human being, that is in food production knowledge of plant physiology is applied, and in the industry, especially textile industry, where knowledge of plant physiology is applied. Now third is, knowledge of plant physiology is applied in pure sciences as well as applied sciences. Now the plant physiology has great scope in applied sciences. Now in the modern age, now life science or biology, we call it as a life science, that is the basic science, and number of branches of life sciences, they are flourish in the modern age, where we use the knowledge of science and technology, and these other branches or applied branches of life science are of great economic importance for the human being, and they have contributed the human life, especially plant physiology having scope in biochemistry. Now this is the interdisciplinary branch where the knowledge of biology, especially plants and animals, and knowledge of chemistry is applied for the production of medicine, for the production of food, etc. Now this knowledge of plant physiology has great scope in the biochemistry. Then biophysics, again here knowledge of physics and life sciences is applied in this interdisciplinary branch, that is applied branch, biophysics. Various physics or physiological functions or physical functions and knowledge of plant science is combined together, and the number of biophysical phenomena are studied, especially light. Then phytochemistry. Phyto means plants. Chemistry means study of chemicals which are present in the plants. Now in case of the plants especially roots, stem, leaves, flowers, birds, seeds, etc. they are having chemical content. Now in case of phytochemistry, one can separate various phytochemicals which are essential for human being, and this knowledge of plant and chemistry is used in the phytochemistry, where by studying the chemicals which are present in the plants and how these chemicals are used in the medicine or pharmacognosy or Ayurvedic preparation. Then other plant physiology having great scope in biostats to study the population of the plants and animals. The knowledge of plant physiology is applied for the study of plant population and animal population, that is biostat. Then agriculture. Now just we have seen in the first point agriculture. Modern agriculture having great scope for the plant physiology. Knowledge of plant physiology is applied, and we have secured more production of agricultural goods. The another important branch that is called as space science. Space science means astronauts travel from Earth to the space, and during that they perform various experiments in the space, and for their during traveling and during the stay they require the food. Now the various plants, especially algae, which are the important source of SCP, that is single cell protein. In case of the space science, knowledge of plant physiology is applied. Almost all physiological functions are studied in the space shuttle at the space station. That is, the knowledge of plant physiology is applied in the space science. Now that is the great scope of plant physiology in the space science. Next, in horticulture. Now agriculture, it is a traditional branch. Horticulture, it is the applied branch of horticulture. Agriculture, which deals with study of production, multiplication, marketing and trading of economically important fruits, vegetables, fruit preservation, ornamental plants. Now horticulture, it is the today's advanced branch of agriculture, and from horticulture we have produced number of fruits, vegetables and the flowers, and they are having market value. That's why knowledge of plant physiology is also applied in the horticulture. Next, this knowledge is also applied in floriculture. Plant physiology knowledge starting from presence of light, inducement of bud into the flower, that is only triggered by the presence of hormone, flower inducing hormone, that is called as florigen. Then in case of polyhouse and greenhouse, knowledge of plant physiology is applied. When we supply continuous light to the plant, and in case of polyhouses and greenhouses, we have the good result, increase in the flower, increase in the total yield. That's why knowledge of plant physiology we applied in floriculture, polyhouses, greenhouses. In case of polyhouses and greenhouses, the knowledge of plant physiology has great scope. Here we maintain humidity, we maintain the temperature, we give the irrigation and the light quality and quantity. And that's why the knowledge of plant physiology having great scope in horticulture, floriculture, in polyhouses and greenhouses. Secondly, in biological control. In the modern agriculture, there are number of insect pests and diseases. Especially diseases are fungal diseases, bacterial diseases and viral diseases. In case of the pest, there are various insect pests. They are recurrent on the crops. And here plant physiology having great scope in biological control. Biological control means use of living organism to control another disease causing microorganism. Chemical control, it is hazardous. Chemical pesticides are costly. Poor farmers cannot purchase, and that is not easy for operation. That's why in the modern age, in the advanced age, we use biological control and knowledge of plant physiology has great scope in biological control for diseases of the various crops. Transgenic plants, in case of plant breeding, in case of the plant breeding to produce new variety, we produce transgenic plants, means by a combination of genes. Suppose one gene is disease resistant, that gene is incorporated in the disease susceptible plant. For example, especially rice variety, we have produced the transgenic plants. In case of cotton, we have produced the BT cotton. Now these are the transgenic plants, and these transgenic plants are superior, they are disease resistant, they give more yield. Now this knowledge of plant physiology has great scope in the production of transgenic plants. Then production of stress tolerant. Stress, there is a drought resistant varieties are released or produced by using the knowledge of plant physiology. Now salt tolerant variety, water tolerance variety, drought tolerance variety are produced by using the knowledge of plant physiology. Now for production of stress tolerant variety having great scope in the where there is a rain-fed area. Number of plants, they are susceptible for salt, then they are less grow in the less rain-fed area where we can produce the variety which is stress tolerant. Now these are the scope of plant physiology in various fields. Third point, application of plant physiology. Now we have seen the definition, that is plant physiology. It is a branch of botany which deals with study of various physiological functions which are occurring in a plant. Then we have seen that scope of plant physiology in various branches of science, especially agriculture, medicine, food production, textile, pharmacognosy, in the phytochemistry, in biostatistics, in modern agriculture and space science, especially horticulture, that is floriculture, polyhouse and greenhouse production of economically important fruit plants, vegetables and flowers. In case of biological control, we control diseases of the plants by using the microorganisms. Transgenic plants, in the plant breeding, we can produce new plants which are disease resistant, that is called as transgenic plant, having high yielding variety and production of stress tolerant variety of the plant. Now this is the plant physiology having great scope in these various fields. Now last unit that we will see the application of plant physiology. So what is the use of plant physiology in various disciplines of the plant science? Especially there are 2 to 3 disciplines of plant science which are of great importance. One is agriculture, another is horticulture, and these agriculture and horticulture are very important for the production of food, clothing and shelter. Human being is totally depending upon plants for its nutrition. That's why the knowledge of plant physiology is of having great application. Now we will see one by one where knowledge of plant physiology is applied. Now first, as it is we have seen in the scope, production of transgenic plants. Transgenic plants, new variety of crops are produced by genetic recombination. The wide variety of various cereal crops having genes which are disease resistant, which are salt tolerance, which are stress tolerance, and these genes are mixed in the cultivated variety by gene technology, recombinant technology. And here, this is the application in plant breeding. We can produce genetically engineered plant, that is called as transgenic plant. For example, BT cotton, and other example is golden rice. These are the transgenic plant. BT cotton, which is the disease resistance to the mites, that is Bacillus thuringiensis, and to prevent this disease Now BT cotton is very important, and BT cotton, it is a genetically engineered transgenic plants. Second is the agriculture. Application of plant physiology in agriculture, where we use the knowledge of plant physiology for the production of agricultural crops, especially cereal crops and the vegetable crops, etc. We use the knowledge of plant physiology and we increase the yield. Then horticulture, where economically important cultivation of fruits, vegetables, flowers, etc. and their production, multiplication and marketing. Nowadays, horticultural branch is very important, that gives more money for the farmers, and the knowledge of plant physiology is applicable in horticulture. Then stress physiology, where in the rain-fed area there is a problem of water, there is a less availability of water. In these area, scientists recommend the drought resistance variety and short duration variety, that is stress physiology is used in the production of drought tolerance variety or salt tolerance variety. Knowledge of plant physiology is also used in seed technology. Now you know, in case of modern agriculture, we require the improved seeds, and these seeds are produced in the field where 100% germination should be there. Seed viability is tested, and there are various seed treatments are given to have the 100% seed germination. Seeds are important in the agriculture, horticulture, and from seed germination there is a dependence of the crop. The knowledge of plant physiology is also used in the seed technology. Some seeds are not viable, they are called as dormant seeds. This dormancy can be broken by mechanical treatment or chemical treatment. That is, the knowledge of plant physiology is applied in the seed technology. Space science, especially algae, that is Pyrovera, etc., which is called as single cell protein. And in the space science, this algae is used to study various physiological processes in this space shuttle or the space station. That's why knowledge of plant physiology is applied in the space science. Then crop physiology, various cereal crops like jawar, bajra, rice, etc. or some of the vegetable crops, the knowledge of plant physiology is applied for the high production of crops. Then in polyhouses and greenhouses or shade net, where one can give the continuous light for the plant, maximum light, maximum rate of photosynthesis, and we obtain the more yield. That is, knowledge of plant physiology is applied in the cultivation of polyhouse and greenhouse crops. Then medicine, in the modern medicine we use medicinal plants, and these medicinal plants are having alkaloids in their parts like root, stem and leaf. To increase the alkaloid, the knowledge of plant physiology is also used to increase the secondary metabolites. And last, that is the plant tissue culture technique. Knowledge of plant physiology is used in the plant tissue culture. As you know, you are very familiar with the plant tissue culture. Plant tissue culture means by supplying artificial growing media in the closed laboratory condition, one can produce thousands of seedlings. Here, which are the media required for the plant? Which are the major elements like NPK and minor elements required from the plant? They are mainly determined by the knowledge of plant physiology. Now these are the various applications of the plant physiology. Now again we will summarize within 1 to 2 minutes. Now this is the plant physiology course, botany paper 2nd. In credit first chapter is Introduction to Plant Physiology, where we have studied the definition, that is plant physiology, it is the study of various physiological functions. Then we have studied the scope of plant physiology. Plant physiology have varied scope in various disciplines of the science, and lastly applications of plant physiology. Thank you very much.